Hello everyone, greetings from sunny Egypt, from Sharm el-Sheikh. My name is Svetlana Muha and I'm the leading matchmaker and dating coach at Diolli.com. I am still enjoying my vacation, but don't worry, probably when you will be watching this video, I will be already back home and I will be back to the office, interviewing the ladies, scheduling the dates, spreading love. Today, while I'm still here, I want to film another video for you and I want to share with you dating tips for shy guys. Before we jump into the topic, let me apologize for wet hair. I have just returned from the beach, and when I'm on the beach, vacation with the family, with the toddler, I really don't think I could have filmed anything there, and it was way too sunny. And now you can still enjoy the view. It is not too sunny so that I can skip the sunglasses, and I will jump right into the topic. So pretty often we tend to work with gentlemen whom you could describe as shy, maybe a little bit awkward, but I would tell that usually they just don't have much practice with dating women, flirting women, or they have been out of practice for a while. For example, gentlemen who have been married for 15 years and after that they were single, divorced unfortunately, for 5-10 years, and they want to return back to the dating scene, and they kind of don't know how to do it, because when they were courting their first wife, they were in college and it was all very different. Right now, with online dating, with smartphones, with texting, dating is different. Anyway, dating tips for shy guys. First of all, the first mistake, or I would call it a complication that many shy guys or awkward in dating usually face, is the fact that they start courting very attractive, very easygoing, popular girls. I know that in movies they often show it that she is the most beautiful girl in high school, in the university, or maybe in the law firm, and she is so sexy, she's so flirty, she's so easygoing. And it doesn't mean that she's a mean girl, no, she can be sweet and kind and very family oriented, but she is very attractive, she knows it. Usually she's also young and she knows how to make the guys turn their heads when she walks into the room. When the guys who do not have much experience in courting and flirting the ladies start approaching such women, they underestimate competition. In their mind, like in Hollywood movies, such a girl will 100% choose a nerdy shy guy because opposites attracts and blah blah blah. And they believe that such a girl, she will see what this guy has to offer, that he is kind, that he is very family oriented, that he is really warm-hearted, from a really good family. But guys, there are plenty of men who are kind-hearted, family oriented, and at the same time easygoing, flirty, and they know how to wow a lady with a few jokes, with nice compliments, with interesting conversations. So very often guys who have been out of practice in courting and flirting with the ladies, or they're just naturally shy and not very easygoing, you could claim that they're kind of clumsy when it comes to dates and women. They think that there will be no competition. And of course, when they choose to court the most attractive, easygoing and very popular girl, well, she can compare her dates with easygoing guys who are natural storytellers, who can make them laugh the whole date, with the guy with whom it is vice versa. She has to be the one entertaining him the whole date. She has to be the one telling jokes and encouraging him to keep up the conversation, asking all the questions, answering the same questions. And of course, after going out on such a date, usually a shy guy tells us that, wow, I love the date, we didn't have any awkward moments, and I had lots of fun. And the girl gives us a different feedback that, well, I kind of had to entertain him the whole date because he was mute, and I had to share stories, I had to suggest topics, I had to ask all the questions, I had to suggest to take a walk so that we don't sit around. And well, I don't want to go out with him again because I'm used to other type of dating. I used to men who entertain me, who try to win my attention with good jokes and with interesting stories, with interesting questions. So what to do not to court the most attractive woman? Well, to understand that there will be competition, and pretty much if you're out of practice, you will go out on a date with her, especially if you hire a matchmaker, because on your own, pretty much shy and kind of awkward guys, when it comes to dating, they can be actually very successful professionally. And we have worked with a few programmers who are very successful both professionally and financially. They are well traveled, but they are awkward with women and they don't have much practice when it comes to entertaining a girl on a date. Entertaining not with the new iPhone and with boasting how much money he earns, but with some stories, with flirting, with compliments, with his personality, with his dating personality. So when a shy guy aims for a very popular girl, it will be very hard for him to compete with other guys. Of course, some gentlemen think that, okay, I have hired a matchmaker, so a matchmaker will get me a date with this hot girl. Yes, for some of our shy and awkward guys, especially who have been out of dating market for a while and they start choosing most attractive women, and we try to warn them against it, but they still want to do it. In their mind, if they get a date, a girl will look through all his awkwardness and shyness and she will see the real him. No, she won't. She can date a really nice and really easygoing guy who will be also family oriented, but he will make her laugh with his jokes because he has this personality and he has this experience, and experience is usually sexy, and he has this confidence. And yes, it's not a secret that women usually like confident guys, and in Ukrainian culture it is traditional that a man leads and the woman follows. It doesn't mean though that you will be the one playing a cheerleader the whole date, entertaining her, no, but usually it is a man who suggests activities, topics, who starts the conversation with an interesting question, and the lady follows. If the lady has to play the cheerleader the whole date, she will feel really tired after a date or two, and pretty much she will give up on a guy. Anyway, usually if a shy and awkward in dating guy thinks that a matchmaker can guarantee that this very hot woman will choose him back, he will face a huge disappointment. We can get you a date with such a woman. Our psychologist and myself, we can play our tricks and suggest her to expand her borders and meet someone different. And usually, regardless of the fact that he is quite clumsy regarding his dating strategy, such gentlemen, they can be very handsome. We have worked with a gentleman from Munich, Germany, and he is a programmer at a big IT company, and he is tall and quite handsome, but he is very, very shy, and I would say that he's very laid back in a sense that he can just sit on a date for 10 or 15 minutes, enjoying his tea or coffee, and that's the first date, and the lady feels awkward because there is zero of conversation going on. So she kind of reads mixed signals, like why is he not asking anything. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead of the topic. So if a guy thinks that a matchmaker guarantees that this very beautiful lady who has agreed to go out on a first date with him will choose him back just because a guy has hired a matchmaker, well, he will face a disappointment. Even if the lady has joined our database, it doesn't mean that she is not dating on her own. Of course, when we introduce a lady to our client, we don't introduce her to other clients. We don't want to put ourselves in a position when several guys would have to compete for the same girl. That's ridiculous. We have a big database, so we can introduce our clients to different ladies. Of course, if the lady went out with a client and, for example, they mutually do not like each other, but the lady liked the process and she kind of liked him as a person, but she didn't like him as a dating material, she can stay in our database and we will introduce her to other guys if we see that, for example, her dating strategy is smart and maybe that guy was just not for her. Anyway, even if the lady has joined our database, she can be dating on her own through her friends. Men can be approaching her offline. If she is very attractive, if she is flirty, if she is easygoing, if she is young and beautiful, well, people will approach her in her office. People will approach her online if she is into online dating. So she will be surrounded with male attention. It is such a cliche that there are beautiful, hot, young women that have zero understanding how beautiful they are. Well, you can see it by male attention that you are attractive and you live in Sotium. So, of course, a society around you, people around you, they will show you your place on a dating market. So, if the guy is shy, what to do? First of all, practice. Talk to different women and go out on dates. You have to learn to talk to women and you have to try on your own which topics work for you and which jokes work for you, and at the same time which jokes and topics do not give you the result you want. All my clients who are very easygoing, very flirty and experienced with women, you can tell that on different dates they pretty much use very similar stories, very similar compliments, similar examples. Of course, they look at the situation and they can use different stories or they can share different pieces of information about themselves, but they have it ready in their heads, and when they meet a beautiful lady, they don't come up empty with nothing to say. I can tell you, usually when I meet new people and they hear that I am a matchmaker, oh, they are all very surprised because it is not a very popular profession, regardless what people think about Ukraine, that everybody knows about dating agencies. No. Usually people do not know that there is such a profession, that there can be such a career, and of course they all want to hear some stories, they all want to know more, and I'm quite an easygoing person, so usually when I'm talking to a lady, for example, and she wants to know more, I try to understand if I want to have her in my database. If I want to have her in my database, then of course I will choose a very romantic story about one of our couples. Of course, I never reveal names, or about some of the latest dates that we have scheduled, and I will tell her more about this so that at the end of our conversation she will ask if she can join our database. If I know that she is married, but for example she works at a big university or she works at a big company and she's surrounded by females, I can share some romantic stories with her as well, because she will share them with her friends and there will be single women there. If I'm talking to a couple, I can share some funny stories about the dates, about interviews with ladies and gentlemen, and we all can laugh about that. So I have a huge set of stories from which I can choose, and of course now I know that, for example, this story is very romantic and people always do this after I tell it, and ladies always want to set their single friend, sister, mother, daughter, and they want to register her with us. If I'm talking to a gentleman, then I also choose stories because I know that if he is single, after this story he will understand the value of my service. Of course, when you are meeting women, you can't use the same stories that, for example, you are using at your work. Pretty often we work with gentlemen who work in sales, and especially if these are American gentlemen, they can be very aggressive with selling themselves. And this technique, if it works in the professional field, it doesn't necessarily work on dates. Usually it is a huge turn off when they try very hard to sell themselves. And they can be very easygoing because salespeople, they usually are easygoing. But if they have very little experience with women, or for example, they just have experience of first dates and they can't get second dates. It's also an indicator when you are getting first date but you are not getting second dates. It means that you are doing something wrong during these dates. They can be very pushy. So if you are naturally shy and you understand that you are out of dating practice, talk to women. Don't stick just to online dating. Go out. If you have hired a matchmaker, you should realize that probably you will sabotage your first 3 or maybe 4 or maybe even 5 dates, because practice has to be built. It won't magically appear out of thin air. You have to talk to women. You have to learn to present yourself. You have to learn to feel how your dating partner actually feels right now, because very often when people do not have this dating practice, they tell that, oh, the date went fantastic, and the lady gives us the feedback that I was bored to death. I couldn't wait till we eat this salad so that I could leave. So if it was a coffee date, pretty much she would leave after a cup of coffee after 20 minutes, and the salad has prolonged that date for 2 hours. So talk to women. Talk to women who are single, not only to your married cousins or to your sister or to your mom or to your friend at work. Try to talk to single women. Try to share with them different jokes. Try to watch which jokes will work, which jokes won't work. And of course, after you practice talking to women, you will feel more confident and less restless, and also you will start building slowly this dating intuition. And of course, you have to understand that if you will start courting and choosing only very easygoing, very attractive women, it will be very hard for you to compete for their attention. Think of the gym. If, for example, you have never trained in gym, of course you can go there and there will be guys and women who are like very muscled, and you can tell that they work out maybe twice per day, and they lift very aggressive weights, or they do very complicated push-ups. You can try to repeat that and probably you will hurt yourself. So it won't be very healthy to do it. And usually people understand, if they are smart, that it will take them a few years at least to get to the form and to the ability to repeat same exercise as these professional athletes. Of course, only if during these several years you will train very hard. And here you can hire a personal trainer, and probably it will get you not 7 or 8 or 10 years as these athletes who train on their own, but maybe 5 or 4 if you have a really good trainer. Of course, not to be on the same physical level, but at least to reach a certain level that you can repeat similar exercises, similar number of exercises. Or you can do it on your own after watching some YouTube videos or reading some programs online. Right now there are programs for gym on your iWatch, and you can try to do that. So if you're out of dating practice, you can hire a matchmaker, and yes, the matchmaker can really help you get the dates, go out on these dates. The matchmaker will give you the feedback, but it will be up to you to use this information that you get, the feedback about your dates, to adjust your dating strategy. But still, you will have to do all these push-ups and sit-ups on your own. Your matchmaker or your personal trainer can't train instead of you. So if you're naturally shy, meet people. It doesn't mean that you can't meet someone attractive. You can. Beauty is in the eye of a beholder. But probably if you try to reach the most popular girl on the dance floor, or the most popular girl in the company you work for, and she is very beautiful, she has lots of admirers, it will be very hard for you to stand out, and it will be very hard for you to be on the same level of flirtiness, of easygoingness. So yes, there is a dating market, and it is important to understand where you stand, what you have to do to increase your chances to meet other people. Of course, there will be women who are also quite naturally shy and awkward. It doesn't mean though that they won't be aiming for someone easygoing. For women, it can actually be easier, especially in Ukraine, because a man is supposed to lead. So she is more shy and reserved. She can aim for a Ukrainian guy or for a foreign guy who will lead the conversation and she will follow. So she won't have to be the one entertaining the guy, thinking of funny jokes. Right now you can tell me that dating is way too complicated. Well, staying on your own at home, maybe getting a second dog is easier than actually going out there and meeting new people. Guys, of course, not all women are looking for this macho alpha type, and many women, especially if they're smart and mature, they can see through all this exterior of this macho man. But women like it when a man is confident. It doesn't mean that he has to be talking every minute. No, don't become this American salesperson who tries to sell himself and who is very pushy. But at the same time, confidence, it's the energy that you have inside. It's when the lady knows that you are there, you are truly present, you're not afraid of her, and you know what to say next, and you let her talk, and you know what to ask her next, and you're actually enjoying this date. When you're enjoying this date and there is no this nervous energy all around you, the lady will enjoy the date as well. Guys, I hope it was helpful. I want to wish you lots of love. Svetlana Mukha from Sharm el Sheikh, especially for Diolli.com with love.